Hi guys, welcome to today's art session. Thank you so much for joining me. I have prepared my sketch from, I don't know if this one was from last Halloween, I'm not too sure, I can't remember. But this is Frederick and Fergus, so the little boy's name is Frederick and his bat's name is Fergus, so yeah, I wanted at the time to practice drawing boys a little bit more because, you know, just their hair shapes, face shapes tend to be a little bit different. So I wanted to try and practice that. So he's a really special little boy, actually. And I'm excited to paint him. Really, really excited. I don't know yet what I want to do for the background because I had sort of wanted to do a little bit of like a creepy forest look, you know, like a grey kind of windy forest with these strange looking trees in the background. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I'm not too sure yet. Hello, Ren. Hello, Natalia and Robin. How are you guys doing today? Hope you're well. So, first things first, I think I do need to start with the background. So that's going to be tricky because I haven't really planned it out yet. I'm not too sure what I want to do. I do have some moths here in the foreground as well, so I don't want to do anything that's really going to distract from those. So I think I'm going to try a bit of a wash. So we'll start with like a bit of a grey wash. And one thing I really want to do with my watercolor paintings is I want to start going, like, be braver, go a little bit darker, don't hold back so much, really. Yeah, grey? You think grey's gonna look good? Thank you. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So we have like a greenish grey because I don't want to go just grey. So similar to yesterday's colours. And I think I need to just slightly wet the paper so I don't get that sort of streaky look, you know? And that blends a lot smoother when I do that. So try and keep it that way. So I'll start light, but I really want to try and push myself to be braver and go darker. Because I really want to play with better contrast in my paintings. So we'll see if I can get that done in this one. Hello, Eggs, how are you? Today you visited Hermes. What exactly is Hermes? I don't know what that is. Going well, you're moving the last big furniture pieces up today. Should have the rest over for the new place tomorrow. That is so exciting, Ren. I'm so happy for you. Wow, what great news. You're going to be so relieved once that's all over. I can only imagine. It's like the most satisfying thing when a move is over and you can just like sit back and relax and don't have to think about anything. Because moves are really, really stressful. It's like, it is one of those terrible, terrible things that you just gotta push through, you know? But hey, you're gonna be so much happier at the new place, so it's gonna be so worth it. Where's my... I don't have my cloth here with me, so it's being tricky. It's just beautiful how when the paper is the perfect wetness, the paint just dissipates and blends in so smoothly, and it's gorgeous. I love it. But you got to make sure that that paper is the perfect wetness, or you won't get that. You will not get that beautiful blending. So I'm sorry for being a little quiet, guys, but I really want to have this section nice and smooth. Been trying to get it smoother every time I do a drawing, so hopefully this time I will have nailed it, and then I'll know that I made some good progress. I don't mind painting a little bit over Buddy because he's gonna be dark anyways, and I'm gonna add all the highlights in with my gouache at the end of the painting, so I don't have to worry too much about, you know, him being slightly painted over into the background, because we'll deal with that. So I've been straightening out the painting I did yesterday, and it's slowly getting there. It's not quite perfectly straight yet, but I basically just put it under some like really heavy books, and I leave it there overnight, and then, you know, just keep moving it around, making sure that all the different sections are you know, being spread out. I'll be right back. It is so cold today, guys. Is grey boring? I don't think grey's boring. I think grey can be extremely beautiful if you use it the right way. I feel like it helps emphasize other parts of a painting, you know. So if you want a certain section of your piece to really stand out, yeah, I feel like having greys is gonna allow it to properly do that. So I really like how smooth the left side is, and I think I've just been a little bit more dedicated to doing the left side quickly, whereas the right side I was a little bit slower, so that's probably why we've gotten a little bit more streakiness on the right side, but that's okay. Because I'll probably do another layer over it anyways, so it won't matter. I never know which spelling is the correct one. Is it grey with like an EY, or is it grey with who knows? Who knows? I reckon it's just American versus British spelling, and I never know which one's supposed to be the right one, so I think it's just a matter of personal preference, really. Like, everybody has their own, you know, their own ideas of what it should be and what it shouldn't be. So I reckon now I've gotten a little too much water. But we'll see how the layering goes on this side if I go like that. There we go. So I'll let that just dry a little bit longer before I go over with another colour, you know? You love browns, grey dark, and grey dark blues. So in Canada they use grey with an EY? Okay. Hello, Bunkets! How are you doing? Evening or not evening, depending on where everyone is on this wacky little sphere we live on. Well, to me it is 12:34 p.m, so it's not too early, not too late. As usual, you're sadly not going to be able to stay. The time difference paired with school has not been very kind. It's just nice to catch one of my streams every now and then. Oh, thank you so much for trying your best to be here, Egex. We completely understand, you know, and life goes through many fluctuations, so you never know when it's gonna change. Oh, Hermes is a design brand. Amazing. Oh, like, is it Hermes like the Apple Watch bands? I saw those. They're so expensive. It must have been really cool to go see. You're very good today. Walked to the cafe for your morning coffee and made some lunch. Well, that sounds wonderful, Robin. Sounds awesome. I'm really happy you had such a relaxing morning. If I use background and then orange, it pops out, gray as the background and then orange, it pops out more. Well, realistically, the best way to make a background pop is by using its complementary. So if you use orange, probably the best way to make it pop would be by using violet. Because those two are complementary colors. But because I tend to use just, you know, very neutral colors in my work, just playing around with different tones is usually the way that I do it. So that I don't really have, you know, conflicting colors or anything that compete for, you know, the foreground. Because that's a problem. You don't want that. So I just want to erase the little bit here that went into his leg. But I need to clean my brush up first because it's not entirely clean. Nice thing about watercolor is you can erase a little bit to an extent. Not everything, but you know, for the most part you can. But obviously with oils and acrylics, you can let it dry and you can completely paint over it, so both have their advantages. People always say that there's no like Control or Delete button, Control or Z button for traditional art, but really there is. There's so many ways to fix up issues in your work that it definitely, you can always go back. Need to do the little spot on his face as well. But yeah, this blending is so much smoother than I've ever had before, so I'm definitely happy. I'm definitely getting to a point I feel where I understand what I'm doing, which is really good. Watercolor is just like, it's ridiculously hard to manipulate. Because it's so hard to control it, you know? It always has a mind of its own and just wants to go in its very own direction. So you think you got a cold and not to feel well, it sucks. Oh, Natalie, that's awful. You think grey is more pleasing to look at, too, so Americans will use it. I think I normally use grey with like an EY, but you know, I'm not too sure. Your bed is calling you. Good night, everyone. Or good morning for everyone. Well, good night, Egex. Thank you for stopping by. Grey is great for everything, but for clothes, you would mix it with other tones. Well, yeah, I agree. With clothes, you know, it really helps to play around with like a color to make it pop, but even like a really nice black top with grey can look really awesome. You love your cafe, they all know you? I bet they do. I bet they do. What's your favorite kind of coffee? The Control-Alt-Z in traditional art is just a little less instant. I know, right? I know. You gotta be patient. But that's part of the enjoyable process, I feel like, you know. I love the fact that you gotta be patient with traditional art. It's just, yeah. Sarah Stokes is a good aquarelle artist. I've never heard of her. Could you post some of her work in Discord? I'd love to see. Awesome. Well, Batty is a little bit in disguise here, but that's alright. I've also seemingly lost quite a few of my moths, but I'll recover them. That's alright. Oh my goodness, Megan, thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate that. What were you working on today? Guys, if you could please go give Megan a follow, that would be amazing. Really, really appreciate her rating us. Megan, please drop a link to the piece you were working on today, or just drop a link to your socials. I'd love to have a look through your work. You were drawing emotes. Okay, what kind of emotes were you making? You wish you could have the motivation to draw again. You haven't put any real effort into anything creative after starting or postponing or giving up on a passion project. That sounds really, really tragic, Bunkets. You really should. You should just like, I feel like sometimes just forcing myself into it, you know? Like telling myself, okay, I'm gonna time this week how many hours I'm putting into this goal of mine. And then I put that time into it. It's really, really enjoyable. Really is. Hello, Flat Wabbit. How are you doing? Were you part of Megan's little raid here? Her super special raid? We gotta see those emotes you were working on, Megan. Please, please share them with us. You snuck in with her? So you weren't streaming today then, Flat Wabbit? How are the bunnies? How is Charles? I would love to know that Charles is getting a lot of cuddles today. Not yet? I guess you're about to. So we are working on my painting. It's a watercolor piece I'm doing. So I'm working on some hot pressed Archies watercolor paper. And it's basically, this is Frederick and that's his pet bat Fergus. So yeah, it's just a character design of these two. And I'm hoping to basically improve my watercolor skills today. So we'll see. Buns are good, Charles is being a ham. That's adorable. I cannot wait to see another one of your streams and get to see little Charles. Zazu's doing great. I'll post a picture of Zazu on Discord from this morning. He was so happy. He had some nuts, had some mandarins, so yeah, and he was flying around the biggest room in our house, so he's really, really happy. Really happy indeed. Thank you for the follow, Megan. Really appreciate that. Little Charles, all 13 pounds of Charles is fluffy love. Well, I guess he's not that little, but in comparison to us, he's still pretty small size. Thank you for the follow, Arcadian. Whereabouts are you from? You wrote the artist's name on Discord. She has courses, but you don't have any art. But you don't have any artwork. That's alright. We'll check her out. After the stream, I'll go have a look at her because, yeah, I'm always really happy when you guys, you know, send me links to new artists and introduce me to new artists because it's hard to find new ones when you're so familiar with all your favorites. She knows how to manipulate water. That's a cool thing to watch. I hope she has some videos. So how was your stream, Megan? How did it go? Did you finish all the emotes you were working on? So I reckon this is a good level, but I'll see how dark I go. I'm probably gonna go pretty dark on his leggings. So I'm thinking like a really deep dark grey. I'm thinking white for his shirt. So I'd like to get a little bit more contrast in the background so that shows. But I'm not quite sure whether the background is ready for it just yet. So I guess we'll see. The other thing I have to remember is I have these moths. So do I want to do them light or do I want to do them dark? Because if the background gets too dark, yeah, I won't be able to have them show very well. Also, the bat is going to be pretty dark, so I don't want the background to go that dark that it interferes with the bat. But I reckon we can still get some, you know, some flow in here and get it a little bit darker. So I'm just wetting the paper again so that I can get that gorgeous, gorgeous blending that I'm looking for. And then I'm gonna go over with some darker tones down the bottom. So I'll do the same on the other side as well. It went well. You did maybe 1.5 emotes, but you did finish one. It's not very, you're not very experienced with digital art, so it was really more of a journey. Well, Megan, to be honest, emotes are some of the hardest things ever. Just because, you know, understanding how to make them go so small is really difficult, so you've really given yourself quite a challenge. Do I know Lacombe French illustrator? I don't know. Frederick, yeah, emotes can be tricky, exactly. What color will Frederick's outfit be? So I'm thinking of making Frederick's outfit just neutral tones, so it's gonna be grey, and then it's going to also have so his shirt's gonna be white, and I'm gonna work some red into like his bow tie and things like that. So pretty much neutral tones essentially. There we go. So I really love the kind of the crumbling that I'm getting in certain areas. It really adds a lot to the painting for me because I'm looking for that little bit of texture as well. Red? Nah, don't know. You don't know if red's gonna go well? Well, I'm gonna give him a beautiful royal red bow tie, so you'll see, you'll see. It's gonna look good. So I'll just try and get little Buddy here a little bit less green, but that's not crucial to me because essentially he's going to be properly dark anyways, so if he's a little green, that's okay. It's just going to add to the effect. And I'm trying to lighten up the moss here in the background just so I can remember where they are because I've lost a few of them. So it's a little bit of a problem, but we will deal with that. It's nothing we've not had before, so. So now hopefully I can have that dry just a little bit more. Because I don't want to touch it too much. Oh, my drawing reminds you of Lacombe. Really? Well, I've got to check Lacombe out then. Please do share some of his work in Discord. I'd love to see. Cream or white with red accents is my specialty. Thanks, Ren. I guess I really do like those kinds of colors, don't I? I'm always drawn to them, so yeah. I have to search Marie Antoinette by Lacombe or whatever her name is. I will love it. I need to, yeah, I really should. I'm sure I will love his work. I blended so seamlessly. Thank you, Rin. That is what I was trying to get better at today. And I think over the course of the last couple of paintings, I've really discovered how wet the paper needs to be for me to get it just right. You know, to get exactly the kind of blending I'm looking for. So, really starting to learn more. Red and achromatic reds. Do I know anatomy? I mean, what exactly do you mean? I've not studied anatomy, but I'm very familiar with anatomy. What color is my lipstick? It's like a dark purplish red tone. So, not completely red, not completely purple. It's like a deep, kind of plum color, I guess. So yeah, I need to just wait. I guess I can start with the bow tie because that's like the only section that's not going to be, you know, that's not going to be interfered with by the other colors. So I'll try and mix like a nice deep red bow tie color. And I need a little bit more red than that. And there we go. Just try and get the perfect color. And I have it. I have the perfect color for his bow tie, guys. There we go. Well, that'll dry and probably go a little lighter than it is, but that's perfect. Really happy with that. This is Marie Antoinette by Lacombe Benjamin. Oh, I know this person. Actually, I do. Yeah. I wasn't when you said Benjamin, I was like, wait, this is familiar. I am in love with his work. Yeah. Absolutely in love with his work. He did an Alice in Wonderland book that I'm obsessed with. Just amazing. That's alright. Yeah, I got a personal assistant. My mods are awesome on here, so I'm very lucky. But thanks for sharing his work, Natalia. I am actually familiar with his work, particularly his Alice in Wonderland stuff. And I once watched one of his streams where he was walking through a museum, showing off all his work. It was so cool. Really enjoyed his live stream. Wasn't on Twitch, it was only on Instagram, but you know, lucky enough that I caught it, so. Well, he looks pretty happy with himself, so that's a good sign. What did I do with those fingers? I'm trying to figure it out now, but I've literally got no idea. I just want to blend in the green to the fingers a little bit more so I won't have a problem later on. He has a Twitch. I don't think he's got a Twitch, no. He's only got an Instagram account. So he was live streaming on Instagram. But yeah, it was a very short live stream. I'm pretty sure you can only stream for an hour maximum on Instagram. but he didn't go for that long. But yeah, he was just talking about all his work. It was all in French though, so very cool to watch. But I had to leave midway, so I didn't even get to watch the whole thing, which was incredibly sad. So I'm just giving him pretty blue eyes. And we'll go a little grayer than this, but I want to start setting down the colours I'm after in this piece. So I'll show you guys yesterday's piece. For those of you who weren't here yesterday. So yesterday we were working on this little girl, and she has telekinetic powers. So we had a very similar background color yesterday. And well, this was the point where she realized it's okay to be weird, it's okay to be different. That's my lunchtime timer, so I have to go grab lunch, put lunch in soon. But yeah, I really enjoyed working on her, adding all the telekinetic rocks that she's pulling out, and yeah, basically manipulating with her powers. So her hairstyle was inspired by Brett Manning. I love Brett's hairstyle. I feel like it's so unique. But yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so I will quickly be right back. I have to just go put in some of the some pies that I can eat for lunch. So give me 1 second, guys. There we go. So I'm just waiting on that to properly bake, and then I'll go have some lunch a little bit later. Interesting typewriters in the video? Oh, my typewriters, you mean in the Be Right Back video? Yeah, I actually have, I think I've got 3 typewriters. And one of them's Russian, so yeah. I love my typewriters so much. I love collecting all kinds of different antiques and, you know, different things. Who doesn't love some typewriters? They're so nice. Hello, Appy! How are you doing? What are my inspirations? I don't know. I guess most of my characters are just from like my imagination, really. So, not too, I don't have too much inspirations really, but if you're talking about artists who inspire me, at the top of that list would be Mab Graves, Mark Ryden, obviously also Benjamin Lacombe would be in there. Yeah, I reckon those would be the top ones. Also love Thomas Ascott's work, so if you guys are familiar with his work, he's recently been very busy doing some amazing paintings. Hello, Dart Guy. How are you doing? How's your morning going? I loved making your stream the other day. It was so much fun. Right, so I reckon I can go a little bit darker here at his neck. Hello, Glittercraft! Welcome back! Thank you so much for following me on Instagram, by the way. A failed attempt to sleep today. We're all doing well, Dark Guy. At least I know most of us seem to be doing well. So, we're working on Frederick and Fergus. So, Frederick's the little boy, and Fergus is the little bat. Do I have any favorite bands? Yes, I do. So, favorite musician? So, I love Avril Lavigne. She's like my all-time favorite. I've loved her since I was a kid. So I'll always keep loving her. I love The Pretty Reckless. I love Automatic Love Letter. She's recently changed her name to Juliet Sims. I love Anti-Black. I love, well, AC/DC, Jack White. I love Halsey's music. Love some Sia as well. So kind of a variety. Depends what mood I'm in. So I'm very happy with how he's looking so far. I don't know if I want to really go heaps darker, but I do need to do something near the bottom to show some layering. So what I'm gonna do is mix up a brownish kind of tint instead. And I'm not too sure where I'm gonna do that because over here I don't have all too much space. So once again, I'm gonna wet the paper before I do any color. And then I'm gonna go over with some color. So I basically just want to wet it up until the point where I want to go. I don't want to wet all of it because well, I don't need to wet all of it. Because the different shade is not going to go that high up. Only going to be down the bottom. There we go. Nice and blended. Now I'm going to go over with the other tone. Really need to mix up more of it. That is not going to be enough. There we go. And I want to see if I can go even darker down the bottom. So hopefully that'll blend in a little bit smoother than it is at the moment. We'll see. Usually it does. You love the Pretty Reckless? Me too, me too. Yeah. Porcelain Black is another musician you might love if you like Pretty Reckless. I do feel like Pretty Reckless's music is another level up. I much prefer her over Porcelain Black, but you might like her if you like Pretty Reckless, so it's worth checking her out. You know, sometimes we just want more to listen to, and so really helps if we can get that. I'm not sure what's with some of these little specks on the painting. No idea where they come from. But yeah, that's definitely much more of a gradient. I reckon it's a lot more obvious now that it is a gradient. So I reckon now is a good time to try and add in like a bit of a horizon line as well. So while the paint is still wet, I'm gonna try and do that. I'm gonna see if I can attempt some trees and kind of like hills and things as well. Wait, I'm just gonna have a look. I reckon this brush might do it, but not too sure. Basically, I'm trying to do pine trees. So, don't want them too obvious, but just little faint pine trees in the background. And this paper is like, at the moment, it is the perfect wetness for me to be doing this. Like, it is just working out so good. Need a little bit more paint. So I do want them to be blending in, like fading out into the background the way that they are, because that is perfect. That is exactly what I'm after. They need to be kind of faint, but I want to be able to see them. Are they still together? Who's still together? Chemical Romance is a classic. Yeah, I love this song. What? It's Blood? By Chemical Romance. I don't know who you mean. Who's still together? No worries, Megan. Thank you so much for lurking for so long. Really appreciate you rating us today, and thank you so much for sharing your little family with us. We really enjoyed your company here. There we go. Show us your alien face. What, am I an alien? I am indeed, yes. How long do I usually need to wait before I can do another layer if I choose? I usually just wait until I can see that the paper is completely dry. So if I notice that the paper is not quite completely dry, I don't do another layer. And you can sort of, you get a feel for it really. So all I do is have a look, test the paper. So if I can't see any more shine on it in general, I know it's okay to go over and do another layer. But before then, it's a little bit too risky. A little castle. What color is that one? Is it a mix? So I'd be using brown and so probably umber and black for the trees. The tree technique is incredible. Thank you, Glittercraft. Oh, you love it too. Thanks, Ren. Thanks, Appy. The Pretty Reckless are still together? Oh, you mean the band? I'm not sure. I think they are, because they pretty recently released another song, so I'd imagine so. A nice rolling fog through the pines. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going for, like an eerie look. This child absolutely knows where at least one body is buried. A very fun mix between adorable and creepy. Exactly. He definitely is, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to mess with him, that's for sure. But it's okay. He's nice. Don't worry. As long as you don't get on his bad side, I assure you he's nice. And I've just lost my brush. There we go. So I try to soften these corners and edges while the paint is still wet, because as soon as it dries, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. So whatever I can do now is probably best. I reckon I'm gonna do these moths with gouache, and then they'll be nice and bright and white and they'll stand out very well. So when I'm erasing, I need my brush to be a little bit wet, but not too wet, because otherwise it just drops a blob of paint on my paper. So just a nice mix, really. There we go. I really love this paper because it is so sturdy. I have so far not yet struggled with it like peeling off, and I've really put it through quite a lot, I feel like. So it's helping me out really, really well. I'm very happy with it. Right. So I will be right back because I'm gonna go check the my pie in the oven. So give me 1 second, guys. Oh, my apologies, guys. Didn't realize I was muted. All good. So next step, I reckon, is I'll wait for this section to dry because I don't want it to bleed into the background. But I'm gonna do his pants when I get back from lunch. And I could start with his his little blouse as well. So it's going to be like a really nice white color. And no, actually, it needs to be a light grey because I want the white of his collar to stand out. You thought it was just you had to double check with the other mods to make sure I was muted. Well, it's probably never you, Ren. It's probably me because I'm very forgetful that I mute the mic at times. I don't want you guys hearing all the pots and pans and things in the kitchen because my studio is actually right next to the kitchen. It was lovely to see me in Pink Eye's stream the other day. Oh, yeah, it was lovely seeing you there too. I love coming around and meeting other artists here on Twitch. Do I like the Victorian era? I love the fashion of the Victorian era, yeah. I'm not sure I'm too familiar with anything else from that era, but definitely the fashion I'm so into. Galley's kitchens are no fun at all. Yeah, exactly. It really disrupts like everything else I do in here, especially if someone else is using anything in the kitchen. It's very disruptive when I'm gaming, when I'm arting. So not the ideal situation, but you know. I have a really nice studio, so I can't complain. I'm really, really lucky. I reckon the best way would be to add some more definition to those trees will be with graphite in the end. So I'm gonna leave it and just let it go. But what I do want to try and do is darken the bottom areas of the horizon a little bit. Galley kitchen is when you have two close counters facing each other, making a little alley between them. Yeah, that's what we have. Just had to look it up as well. It's a long, narrow kitchen with cabinets on either side. You never knew the proper term. You know a lot of random things. Where do you learn these things, Ren? You know what I'm talking about. You get me 100%. It's nerve-wracking. Have a wonderful day. You learn much about painting watching me work. Bye. Well, thank you, Matthew. Thank you for stopping by. So happy you got to actually learn something when you were here today. So, really happy about that. So I reckon I'm gonna go check on the my food again. It's similar to photographic, but it's more specific. What do you mean? What is eidetic? Oh, you have an eidetic memory, so you remember a lot of useless things, but trivia is super easy for you. Well, remind me never to join in on a trivia competition with you, Ren. You've never even heard that word. I think that kind of proves your point, Ren. Where'd I come from? So I live in Adelaide, Australia, Natalia. It is a great talent. Okay, I'm gonna go check on my pie. Okay, guys, I am going to make a quick break for lunchtime, so I will be about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I will be back, but I will leave you guys to look at him. I'm just gonna, before I go, quickly erase this section that came across, because we don't want any of that, you know. But I will be right back, so yeah, you guys can chat with each other and also have a look at the artwork, so I will be back. Hello guys! Thank you so much for waiting for me. Finished my veggie pie, so now I'm ready to get back into this painting, you know? Really, really excited. Thanks for updating everybody on all the socials and everything we're in. You're hungry too now? Well, you gotta go grab something, Natalia. You gotta go get yourself something delicious. Hello, Khan. How are you? Congratulations, I'm no longer the only person that hasn't seen Beetlejuice. A new friend was telling you that they hadn't seen it. Well, I'm keen to see it. So, I'm sure it won't stay that way for long that I haven't seen it. You did, nothing fancy to eat, but yummy. Well, that's good. Glad you're not starving anymore, you know. We don't want you to be tempted by food all the time and not be able to have any. You have not seen it either. Right, okay. Well, there you go, Khan. There's another person who's not seen it. Great apothecary jars I have. Amazing. Thank you. Are you meaning the ones like behind me over here? In the back? Or are you on my studio page on my website? Well, I reckon I'm gonna go. I'm probably gonna spend quite a while today on this background because I really want to get it perfect. It's the one thing I really want to improve on with my pieces, so really, really just want to give it all my time. Can you publicly shame all monsters? Oh, on my Instagram, the black jars. Those are so cool, aren't they? I got them off eBay. They were really, really cool. So I'm gonna just do another light layer. And I'm gonna do it in the middle. And another one on this side. So that's already blended it out a lot more, which is excellent. That's much, much better. Because I just didn't want that dark, strong look. So I'm gonna go over in a different shade. Get some greens and blues and do the same thing again. Because I really, that's a bit quite the green I'm looking for. These are not the greens we're looking for, right? It's close. Not quite there. Hopefully, by going nice and dark here in the foreground, you can really show that this is in front and the more distant ones are a lot lighter trees. Because I want to get that depth into it. I really have a nice fading going. This is much better. Do I eliminate Snicker movie? Not sure exactly what you mean there. Like, the parrot spoke? I don't know what that is from. Do tell. Do tell us. Well, this is definitely looking a lot better. I'm so much happier with it. So, the next step when that dries is probably going to be to do the dark leggings. I reckon. Gonna be a good place to start. Lemony Snicket, the movie with Jim Carrey and Meryl Streep. I haven't seen that one. Haven't seen the one at all, sorry. Little kids go to live with their uncle. No, I've not seen that one. Guess I gotta get around to it, hey? What's it about? Is it a good movie? I'm just lightening the areas around the little bat because I like him to stand out. So I don't want the trees to be interfering too much with his shape. And because I've gotten a lot darker there, it could get a little bit tricky to spot him, you know? These trees are fairly dark. So hopefully I can just lighten it up a little. But I'm so happy with this forest. It's looking amazing. What is this name? He's adorable. The parrot. It's so good, I have to watch it. Well, please, tell me the name. So it's just, is it called Lemony Snicket? Thank you for the follow, Saber. Really appreciate that. Please sit down and join our vampire tea party. We love to know where you're from, so go ahead and introduce yourself. The way I built up the depth in the trees is great. Thank you. Thank you, Glittercraft. So yeah, I reckon we might be able to add some colours from his face. You're from Australia too? Well, welcome. Whereabouts in Australia are you from? Okay, so now I need to give him some skin colour for his face. That's a beautiful pale kind of skin tone for him. Series of unfortunate events. Is that it? Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I'll have to check it out. Definitely. You've got all the good suggestions here tonight, Natalia, don't you? Sharing so much inspiration for us. That's a great movie. It's older, based on the book series, and there's also a TV show that is pretty good. I cannot wait for the new Wednesday Addams TV series. I hope it's going to be good. I hope it's not going to be this massive disappointment. Sometimes TV series can be really cheesy and tacky, and other times they can be really good, like even better than movies. So I'm not exactly sure what to expect, you know? Are these little flecks of, I don't know, it's like pieces of my brush are coming off. Incredibly annoying. I will look it up later. It's not really relevant to the stream right now. Yeah, Natalia, if you please share it in Discord. I am very active on Discord outside of my streams. I reply to pretty much everything that gets posted on there. So if you'd like to, post it in the general chat and I will have a look. And then I can reply a little bit more in depth to you as well, which would be awesome. There we go. One thing I'm not exactly happy with is this weird, silly streak there, which there's probably not a whole lot I can do about it. I'm not too sure. So what I'm gonna do is see if I can smudge it out a little bit if I wet it. And if it doesn't go away, I'm gonna try and just add some more layer over it, because it's just interfering with the composition on there, you know. That's a little bit smoother. Much more faded out now, so it's not interfering as much. Turn it into a cloud! Yeah, well then I have to add more clouds though, and I'm not too keen on that idea. Especially not in watercolor. But that looks okay. So we're all good. We found a way, guys. Found a way around it. As it's getting incredibly impatient outside at the moment. I'm not sure what he wants. Maybe he wants some more pistachios. But he's not getting any more because he's getting fat. So he'll have to wait. Oh, you're still here, dog guy. Glad to see you're still on here. Cool. So I'm gonna have to add my moths back in right at the end. Because they've gotten a bit lost. So I have a couple of moths that are like flying here, and then some of them that are floating into the distance. So they're gonna definitely be fun to add back in, but not right now when it's all wet. Right now I just have to make sure that the whole piece gets dry, and I think it's a good idea to start the hair, because I'm not really likely to go over there. This is coming along so well. Thank you, Appy. Thank you. What are you doing while watching the stream? That guy's lurking in the shadows. Always here watching and waiting. Not creepy at all. No, not at all. We totally don't mind lurkers over here. Totally don't mind them. Okay. So time for the hair, which means I need 2 brushes. So the red has faded beautifully. That's like the perfect shade of red that I wanted. You're all sitting in the mod voice channel. Oh, what are you guys chatting about? So I'm gonna give him light brown hair. Thank you for the follow, Darkish Chan. Really appreciate that. Please introduce yourself. Sit down, join our vampire tea party. We're very happy to have you here. So he has a little fleck of hair. And this is probably the cutest thing about him, other than his smile. He has this little fleck of hair that goes off to the side and flicks over. Like so. I really love that about him. And then I gotta do the other kinks of hair up the top. There we go. So I'll make that a little bit darker as I go, but for now I'm really happy. You're just waiting for that magic pencil to come in and give it some pizzazz. Well, magic pencil won't happen today because it's already 2:20, so magic pencil's gonna be tomorrow. But yeah, I'll finish this piece up tomorrow, most likely. You like his little smirk? Thank you. That's very beautiful. Thank you, Darkashan. Really appreciate that. My characters always have such great expressions on their faces. Thank you, Rin. The pencil is definitely the best part. I agree. I agree. But we cannot, start with pencil too early or we'll ruin the whole drawing. So I gotta make sure I do it in the perfect steps that it's meant to be. Cool. So while I'm busy with the brown, I reckon it's a good time to start the little bat as well. So I'm gonna go really dark because he needs to properly stand out, And this is where I'm very happy I have that reference. It doesn't look like much right now, but that'll change. It's gonna look like a lot more belly soon. Betsy's here today. Yeah, exactly. Well, how can we not have Betsy here if we're gonna work on a bat, right? We gotta have Betsy here. Way too important. We need her help, don't we? Okay, so a good timing to go over in with another layer, I reckon, over his hair, so I'll do that. I wonder what's the most common color I usually make my character's hair. I haven't really checked. It would be interesting to go back and have a look, like check what's my favorite color to make my character's hair. Well, he's looking pretty happy with himself, so I reckon I've nailed it. I'll just wait for that to dry before I start, you know, adding much darker shades over it anyways, because I don't want it to blend in. So I need to decide what color am I gonna make his boots, what color am I gonna make his leggings, because the top has to be grey, or like a lightish bluish grey. So I reckon I can start with the top, just very, very gently working on it. I'm gonna give it a blue tint first. I want it to be separate from the other layers for sure. So I'll go ahead and do that. There we go. So he's got a nice lighter shade for his top. And the bottom boots are going to be, well, I was planning to make them a lot darker, but now I'm not too sure. Because now I've got these really dark trees in the background. And yeah, I worry that it's going to be, you know, maybe too much. But then I'm planning to make the bat really dark, so I need something to balance him. So I'm just going to have to go through with that. That's not quite working. So I don't know. Do I want to do that or not? I reckon I have to go light. It's not going to give me many options. So, light it's got to be. If I had a color, that could actually solve all my problems. But I really want to add a color. You know? So I'm going to mix that with other kinds of blues and also some greens. Whoops. Thank you for the follow, Captain Johnny. Really appreciate that. Please go ahead and introduce yourself, Captain Johnny. We'd love to get to know you. Tell us where you're from. He's got some lovely different hues for his pants. I'm really happy with that. I'd like to do something similar with his blouse as well. So I'm gonna wet his blouse so I can play around with some different colors. Try and mix them in with the paper. So I want it semi-wet, just moist. There we go. Now his blouse has got that gorgeous effect as well. What up? How am I doing? You're a multimedia artist doing ceramics, sculpture painting, mostly during oils, and using new media, digital and analog, to do your project. That sounds very interesting, Captain Johnny. You should definitely join our Discord and show us off some of your work. We'd love to have a look. Whereabouts are you from then? Hey, welcome back, Robin! How many coffees have you had since you were gone? I hope a good many. You had one more, but you went and had a nap right after it. Well, that sounds like the caffeine is definitely not working on you, right? If you're able to have a nap right after, soaking up some coffee. Oh, I almost forgot to add some skin color to his hand over there. So gotta give his hand some color. And I feel like I've lost part of his hand, so gotta try and add that finger back in that we lost, because it really added a nice motion to his hand. You're from El Paso, Texas, right? I actually have a couple of friends from Texas, so um, they went through a lot with all the rough storms recently. So I hope you were okay. But I'm from Australia, so I live in Adelaide, Australia. So he's definitely getting there. We have got a long way to go with him, so this is only the beginning. So I reckon I'm gonna try and make his boots go from dark to light. Sorry, his leggings, I should say. I'm gonna add just a little bit more color. And we need to see if we can get the little bat to go even darker, because I need the bat to stand out a lot. So we're probably going to do quite a few layers over the bat until I feel like it's got enough contrast with the background. There we go. That is getting a ton better. So I'm gonna do the same on his shoes. All the parts that I really need to contrast well. That's awesome. What kind of watercolors am I using? If you don't mind me asking. No, I definitely don't. I can actually show you. So I'm using the Schminky watercolor set, and yeah, it's really awesome. I've never really wanted to use anything else, but I don't think it's the best you can get, but it works for me, so I've been really happy with it. But the paper I'm using, that's a lot more crucial. So the paper I'm using is Arky's hot pressed watercolor paper. And yeah, the paper you use is extremely crucial to the effect that you get in the end. You also got some coffee delivered to you in the mail. It looks fancy and you'll try it a bit later. Comes in a little satchel that goes on top of your mug. You pour boiling water into the satchel and it drips coffee into the mug. That sounds so interesting. Very, very interesting. You get a sample pack of their blends. Place the packaging in the Discord and you'd share it on another picture when you make it a bit later. Don't tempt us all. Don't tempt us. You're just gonna be a tease, aren't you? Well, I feel like the contrast has pushed out like really well. The background is now definitely receding, which is really, really good. I'm really happy to see that. One thing I'm not entirely happy with is there's not much difference between these two sections. So I need to figure out how I want to deal with that, you know? So I reckon if the blouse goes a little bit darker, it could help. Because I can't really get this section darker without losing a lot of that contrast, you know? The contrast is popping. Thank you. So yeah, I made it difficult for myself, you know, with the whole gradient situation, but that's okay. We will deal with it. So what have you been working on lately, Glittercraft? Decisions are so hard sometimes. Another thing I need to think about is I have to get the red in his bow tie reflected somewhere else. So I'm wondering if maybe I try and do that in his leggings. So we'll see how that goes, because that'll automatically give me, it'll help me out, you know. I'm gonna have just about every color there is in this section. It's gonna be a little crazy. but that's okay. And now I'll give it some brown. I hope Zaz is not too loud for you guys, because I can do something about that if he is. Just let me know. Random question, what brand of gouache do I use? I don't use a particularly good brand because I'm not that into gouache, so just this artist's gouache. I think it's just a no-name brand, to be honest. Because I don't care about my gouache, as you well know. You finally finished a flower piece over the weekend. It was a coloured pencil and watercolour. That sounds beautiful. You gotta show us Glittercraft. You're always amazed at how much lighter the watercolour dries. We'd be curious to see the colour of this bat when it's dry. I think it's almost dry, so I don't reckon it's gonna change too much more. Let's hope not, because I don't want it to. I'm gonna do something similar with his hair on the top as well. Give him lots and lots of different colours in his hair. Now I've repeated what I've done down here. Hopefully that mixes in a little bit better. And it makes his hair look a little more interesting as well. You're just sketching alongside me, still watching and listening, working on some ideas for Nuclear Girl. I need to be there for the next stream to see it. We need to finish it. There will be other versions you're planning for the character. For sure. I will do my best, Dark Eye. Definitely let me know when your next stream will be, because you don't really have a schedule, so it's incredibly difficult for me to properly know, when you're next streaming. Okay, so I'm semi-okay with the pants at the moment. They've now got more contrast with the blouse. I don't know if the blouse really, works with it. We'll see. Danknuts, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. Please sit down and join our vampire tea party. Introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from. gonna wet the blouse again and give it just some different colors. There we go. Now it just has a little bit more variety and melts in a little bit better. I do think it's slightly too blue, but I think when I go over in graphite, it's probably going to tone it down a little bit and it won't look that saturated. You're still working on the scheduling thing. You think you've mapped it to the afternoon. Let's see. Well, that would be ideal. If you've got a schedule, it's a lot easier for us to, you know, try and make your streams rather than just being like, oh, you were live. Wonder what you were doing, you know? Loving the art? Thank you, Danknuts. Thank you. I hope you're well. Whereabouts are you from? So yeah, his hair, as you guys can see now, has multiple different colors. So does his shirt. And his pants are looking really cool. Love the colors. Probably the only thing I'm not totally a fan of is the saturation, yeah, on that blouse. So, But like I said, it's probably gonna... Time for pencil. It's too wet for pencil at the moment. I'm just gonna scratch off the paper, so I can't really head on to pencil just yet. I reckon pencil's gonna be tomorrow. So it's still 3. I'm meant to be going for at least another, I guess, 45 minutes, so... You're from the USA, Greater Seattle area to be exact, up in the northwest corner of the US. Well, pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you. You should be near Canada then, so close to where Rin lives. You've been lurking here for a bit, but you just wanted to say my art is so captivating and you find my streams very calming. Thank you, little queen lady. Happy to have you here. You've got a really cool name as well. So what I can do is keep adding some more details to his face. We can work on blending his face out a little bit more. I don't like a lot of these really strong lines. You hear Zazu? Yeah, he's definitely wanting to come inside about now. Thank you for the follow, Artotorius. Really cool name you got there. Oh, cat videos! Thank you for the follow. I've been in your streams so many times. I love your streams. Guys, if you're not already following cat videos, you have got to follow her streams. She has an awesome community and she makes really cool turkey sounds as well. You gotta follow her. Let me tell you. So yeah, time for the face. A couple more details to the face and I reckon this little guy will be a lot happier. Yeah, her stream is really amazing, right? I mean, how can you not love cat videos and streams? They're an awesome place to hang out. I hope so, pop-up. Thank you. Yeah, the shout-out pop-up really does look good. It's really nice because I feel like it features other artists that we want to do shout-outs for a lot better. So we try to do that around here, you know? Yeah, so we need to go darker here. And quite a fair bit darker. Cat videos! Thank you so much for the raid! Oh my goodness! Thank you for the kind words, by the way. You're very welcome. I love your streams. Thank you, James. Oh, thank you for the follows, guys. Thank you, Corey and James. Really appreciate it. Unfortunately, I cannot entertain you with turkey sounds like Cat Video does, but I'm really happy to welcome all of you here. Thank you so much for rating my stream Cat Videos. We really appreciate it. If we could have another shout out for Cat Videos, please, one of my mods, go ahead, do another shout out for her because we really appreciate her sending her community this way. Thank you. There you go, guys. Go and check out her streams. She does really spooky art. She has an Etsy store as well. So if you want to support her stream, other than just, you know, subbing, you can buy some of her very cool artwork on her Etsy store. You think they're going to love me? Oh, thanks, Cat Videos. Thank you. I hope so. So today we're working on Frederick and Fergus. So Fergus is the bat and Frederick is the little boy. And he's secretly a vampire, but unfortunately, he doesn't like showing his teeth, so you wouldn't know he's a vampire, but trust me, he is. As we were discussing earlier in the stream, he probably knows where a couple of dead bodies are hidden, so don't get on his bad side, because you never know what he'd do. But yeah, we're busy laying down the bottom layer of his painting. So we did all of these trees in the background today. The little bat will have a lot more detail added soon. So we're going to go over in graphite and gouache very soon. Thank you for the follow, Chaz. Really appreciate that. I'll show you guys what we finished yesterday. So yesterday's piece is a very similar one. You adore how much thought I put in my backstories. I try, Ren. I really love the story side of it. So this is the one we were working on yesterday. And she has telekinetic powers. So Basically, she was always shunned all her life for being weird and a little bit strange because she had these powers, so she always hid her powers. But it got to a point where she decided, you know what, I'm proud of being me. And she used her powers at this day to try and lift these rocks up in the ground, in the air, and basically, use her powers. So the title of this piece is called Own Your Magic, and it's all about being yourself, not being afraid to be you, and let your magic shine, essentially. You already love me and this work. You've never heard of anyone having a backstory for their paintings. I think I have a backstory for pretty much all my paintings, so yeah, you can generally ask me and pretty much all of them have a backstory. So cat videos, please go ahead, drop a link to what you were working on. We'd love to share your work with everyone. Her hair is rather wild and seems to be alive. Yeah, so her hair is actually inspired by an artist I follow, and that artist's hair looks exactly like hers. It's really unkempt, it's really wild and loose and free, and I just felt it really suited the character, so yeah. Really wanted to do that. So this is how they look when they get finished with all the pencil and everything. But at this stage, he doesn't have all that definition. So tomorrow, we'll be adding all the pencil details, and hopefully Frederick can look a little bit more detailed soon. The movement is great, thank you. You just adore art, live and breathe it. Honestly though, you lack your inspiration right now, so awesome to see all the different styles. Well, you really just gotta get back into it though, you know? Just pour yourself into it. I know it's really difficult when, you know, you lack art block, when you have art block, and you lack that inspiration. But what I often do, I'll show you. I have this little booklet, and it's my paper blanks booklet. So yeah, I keep all my ideas in here. It's got a tiny little latch, and whenever I'm like, you know, I don't have a lot of time to do a fully fledged piece, I just do a quick little sketch in here, you know, and it helps me just to jot those quick ideas down. And then later, when I'm lacking that inspiration, I just go through this booklet and I pick an idea and I work it into a fully fledged piece. So it really helps, you know, on those days when you're really lacking that inspiration, when you're stuck in art block. These are really good. Paper blanks, guys. I use them for everything. I love them. They're just amazing. You love this little book? Yeah, and even if you can't, like, if you don't have time to, you know, scribble something in a little book, what you can do is sometimes I just write at the back of the book, like at the back of each sheet, I just write like a word, you know, some word that popped into my head, or if I had a really cool dream, I'll write that down, and that really helps. Thank you for the follow, future millions. Do I ever do nightmare art? I do paint my dreams and sketch my dreams, and well, usually they're not like bad ones, so I don't know if they count as nightmares. They're creepy for sure, but I wouldn't consider them nightmares. Your dreams could inspire weird art. You should write them down, definitely, because, you know, those times that you have art block, yeah, it's really, really helpful. You really like my style. You hope someday you will raid my stream to show it to your audience. Well, I would love to be raided by you, and, you know, in return, I would love to raid you as well. We have just had a Hugger plushie redeem, so give me 1 second. I'll be back. So I have picked my beautiful, beautiful spider bunny for the plushie redeem. This one is actually from an artist on Instagram, and his name is Honey Lamb. So he sells the most amazing plush toys, guys. This one is a mix between a spider and a bunny, and she's got the most soft, long fur, and she's just adorable. But yeah, you gotta be quick, because most of the plush toys, especially the handmade ones on his website, they sell out really quickly. But yeah, hug a plushie redeem. We all gotta hug a plushie from time to time. And hey, when you got a really special one, they deserve it even more, right? It is quite the plushie, isn't it? You wonder what plushie shall be hugged today? Well, I have quite an assortment of really, really weird and unique plush toys, so always one of them I can pull out. That's very true, thanks for the tips. Got any you could see? Any what exactly? Both scary and super cute. I know, right? I know. But it's that good that it just works. And that's pretty much the style and vibe of all of his plush toys, so I love his stuff. Absolutely love his stuff. Plushie business is intense and competitive. I know, a lot of plush toys can be like over $100. It's ridiculous. The painting behind me with the young person in the field, it looks really cool. Thank you. I can show you what it looks like. That is my oil painting that I'm working on for my mum. So it's I reckon it's about A3 size. So it's a pretty large one. But yeah, this one is based off of my my mum's childhood. She loves guinea fowl. So I'll show you guys up close what it looks like. Lots and lots of guinea fowl. So we're slowly making progress on this one. So I need to get back into it. I've been a little bit lazy this week. Only been doing watercolor painting so far, but maybe later this week. It doesn't have a lot left to do, so I reckon I could probably finish it up in another stream. So we'll see. But yeah, that one was done in oil paint. Oh, hang on. Cat Videos shared a screenshot with us, guys. Let's have a look. I gotta show you. Let me pull that up. There we go.